Let's dive straight in and look at the women's Prem. So we've got Valkyries A versus Baccas A. Valkyries B take on Saracens. Ramsey A take on Harlequins. And Castletown A take on Vikings A. None of those seem too close in the league table, so you're predicting anything exciting happening, or should this be a fairly straightforward weekend of matches?
I think it should be fairly straightforward. The only one that I can see springing a surprise, if you will, is Castletown A versus Vikings A. I can't see it happening, but Castletown A have been known to up their game against the likes of Vikings A, and there's been some close battles in the past. It's just whether they can keep their fitness going and their concentration going for the whole 70 minutes.
Let's look at Women's Division 1. We've got Ramsey B versus Baccas C. Vikings B take on Castletown B, and Valkyries C versus Baccas B, which is surely the game to watch, as Valkyries are hot on the heels of Baccas, just 1 point behind them in the league table.
Yeah, and they've got a game in hand as well. And they've also got 2 games in hand on the current league leaders, Vikings B. Valkyries C, last week, they were a bit disappointed. They 2-2 draw against Vikings C. But they could have had more out of the game, as could Vikings Lady C, to be fair. It was a real tight end-to-end game. This week they're going to be going all out. They've already beaten Baccas B once this season, and I think they'll do it again. And I think they'll slip into that second place spot, just behind Vikings B, who they also have 2 games in hand on.
Mm-hmm. Moving on to Men's Division 1, we've got Interclub Derby, Castletown B versus Castletown A. Ramsey B take on Saracens B, Harlequins B take on Baccas C, and then we've got Baccas Colts versus Vikings C, which is your match. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm alright actually. It's I've played for Baccas Colts, and now I'm playing against them, and I think it should be quite a friendly but competitive game. I think the most interesting game's the Castletown B versus Castletown A. I think that's going to be a bit of a battle. The B team and never want to lose to the A team, and they always want to prove themselves, especially at Castletown. And I think Castletown A, if you look at some of the results, Castletown A beat Vikings C 3-2. Castletown B drew with them 2-2. So I think it's going for quite a close game, but Castletown A should win, but expect some bruises.
And we purposely saved the Rossborough Men's Premier League till last because that includes the match of the day. So we've got Saracens A versus Ramsey A, Vikings B versus Valkyries A, Baccas A versus Vikings A, and Baccas B versus Harlequins A. So let's talk about Baccas A versus Vikings A.
Yeah, Vikings A, they've picked up their form again the past couple of weeks. They beat Ramsey and then they beat Valkyries, who they tripped over a few weeks ago last week. And they seem to be back. They seem to be back to some level of form. The training's been going well, led by Stevie Crow this week, and it was a real hard, intense session. So I know for a fact they're up for it. Baccas A, though, they've got nothing to lose. They're in the driving seat. They're 4 points clear. If they lose this game, it doesn't matter to them. If they win it, it matters more. It doesn't really matter because they just go 6 points clear instead. So it's not a big game for Baccas A, but it's a massive game for Vikings A. If they lose, they're unlikely to win the league. If they win, all they need to do to win the league is win their remaining games, including their last game against Baccas A.
And let's just touch on the under-18s are playing against the under-21s in a challenge match, which is taking place on the 27th of December. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Yeah, so the under-18s are going to be picked from the Alaman under-18s squads that are already in place. The under-21s, if there's any players that were 18, 19 or 20 on or before the 31st of August, then get in touch with Neve Goddard if you want to play in the under-21 side. It's something that I think started last year or the year before, and it's just become an annual event. It's something really, really good for the young players that are sort of playing senior hockey anyway, but to play in their own age groups and compete against their friends basically as well, because they all train together down at the Islands junior setups and the Island senior squads as well for a lot of them as well.